make war, everybody fight it. Fall. Yep, I ain't keeping quiet. They say this won't hurt me, they lying. They just trying to murk me, slowly I'm dying. Lied, they lied, now they trying to body us. Pride, my pride, your button is a slaughterhouse. Trying to hold on, but it's hard screaming. Woo! Slave on this track, and sin is the pimp son. I just see Bart Simpson. Danger, man, cause this thing is a monster. Pro said fight, cause sin it'll harm ya. So that's what I do.
how's everybody doing tonight? How are we doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Yeah? We doing good?
Okay, y'all can be louder than that, though.
Yeah, it can be louder. There's one. Congratulations.
Yeah, she can be louder.
Congratulations. She wins.
Yeah, she wins.
You win.
Yeah.
We can all leave now. She won. All right. Well, excellent. Hey, there is a special quick announcement. We have a birthday person here in the building tonight. Where's my man at? Where is Ron at? Is he in here?
Where is he?
Is he in the back?
Ron.
Ron Leonard. Ron Leonard, where you at? There he is. Hey! Hey! Everybody, let's sing on 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy
birthday to you.
Woo!
Happy birthday
To you.
Woo!
Happy
birthday,
dear
Ron.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah, give it up for Ron.
And many more.
Thank you, Ron. Did you notice how they cut my mic out when it was time to sing?
Oh, yeah, I noticed.
Why did y'all cut my mic when it was time to sing?
I think there was a reason for that.
I have a beautiful voice. Why are we laughing?
Because,
all right.
Yeah.
Can you go get the bag for me? Do we have any first-time guests tonight? Any first-time guests tonight? First time? Stand up for me. First-time guest. Anybody else got a first-time guest? First time ever?
Can I just say I'm a
first-time
first-time
ever?
guest? I want some candy.
Yes, there it is. There it is. If you would please come to the front. We have a special gift we want to give you, and all we ask in return is for your undying love and a dance.
Yep.
Get the music ready. No, I'm just kidding. I scared you. All right, so all you got to do is tell us your name, your grade. What's your name and your grade? This is Alyssa. Everybody say, hey, Alyssa.
Hey, Alyssa.
All right, what grade you in? 6th grade. Give it up for Alyssa. Alyssa, you can pick out anything you want.
Anything you want.
Anything. That's all right.
Good choice, good choice.
All right. What's up, my man? What's your name? Braylon. Everybody say, hey, Braylon.
Hey, Braylon.
Braylon, what school do you go to?
I just moved down here.
Yeah?
I'm not really sure which school I go to yet.
You're not sure yet, but what grade will you be in? 7th grade. Everybody say, welcome, Braylon.
Welcome,
Hey,
Braylon.
thanks for coming tonight, man. Pick anything you'd like and share it with a friend, okay? Bring anything you'd like. Congratulations. Awesome. I like that jacket, too, by the way. That's a sweet jacket. I like that. All right, very cool. All right, so we have a few announcements tonight, so let's everybody pay quick attention to a couple quick announcements.
Okay, so over in the Wave Zone, we are looking for anyone who is willing to work with the preschool and elementary kids, because the more volunteers we have, the more children that can come and learn about Jesus. And we want all the children that can to come and learn about him. So we need as many volunteers as possible.
Now, I have a question, because when you said wake zone, how many of you said, what is a wake zone? Who was thinking, what's the wake zone? Explain to them, what is the wake zone? What is that?
The Wake Zone is the Hershey Kiss, but it used to be our old sanctuary, and we have turned it into the entire elementary and preschool worship Jesus learning area. It's where all the preschoolers and elementary come on Sunday mornings to learn about Jesus.
What is inside the wake zone? Because I'm pretty excited about what's inside of it.
I don't know. Maybe I should just let people volunteer and then come see it.
This is true. This is true. So they need volunteers. Do you know the best volunteers for kids are teenagers?
Exactly.
Students.
I work over there.
Right.
It's awesome. I love it over there.
Right. And that means they're desperate if they're taking Alex. So what we need are you.
Very funny.
Okay? We need you. Not good?
No.
Not, oh, okay. Well, sometimes they need me, so that means they're really desperate.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So the wake zone is, how can they volunteer? What do they have to do to volunteer?
Talk to Miss Tammy Hodge.
Miss Tammy, or you can talk with Mr. Phillip, okay?
Yes, you can
or
talk to
Mr.
Phillip,
Phillip.
who will talk to Tammy.
Make sure, if you're interested in helping out with kids, okay? It's a lot of fun. I've done it for many, many years. I love it. So make sure, and the wake zone is sweet.
It really is.
They got some blow-up
so
obstacle courses in there
nice.
now. It's nice.
They have like a big play set in there.
It's pretty
Sorry, you
cool.
have to volunteer
It's
to
pretty
figure it
cool.
out
I ain't gonna lie. All right. Also, next announcement, we have OCC coming up, and I've got a quick little video we're going to show you about the OCC, so pay attention to the screen.
The countdown happens, and the cheers just erupt everywhere.
They jump up with joy. They jump up with smiles.
They've just now got their boxes. They're opening them, and it is so much fun.
This could be the first present that they've ever received.
Operation Christmas Child Gifts really touches children's heart. During distribution, we tell children that there is a God who created us and who loved us.
Jesus loves you. Ah, good.
Isn't it incredible to see the impact these simple gifts are making in the lives of children all over the world?
What amazes me the most is the miracles in each box.
Jesus said, let them come to me. And we're in the middle of bringing the children to Jesus.
Many children around the world still need to hear the good news of Jesus Christ. So keep packing. Thank you for your continued support, and God bless.
All those kids are so cute.
Very cool. Good news, great joy. The Samaritan's Purse, this is a great, great worldwide organization where all you have to do is right after tonight's service, you can go outside. You'll see the boxes out there, okay? The red and green boxes, Christmas boxes. You will grab that box, and all you have to do is get with your family and fill that box up with toys, okay? Little toys. I know that they have a list in there for you. There was sometimes like pencils, coloring books, because for most kids all around the world, that is the only gift they'll get all year long. So it's a great way for you to go to like Dollar General, spend like $5 to $10, and make a kid's life change, because they don't just come bringing those gifts, they also bring the gospel to those areas when they do that. It's a lot easier to share the gospel when they're excited and they have something and they got your attention because they got that gift, okay? So OCC, see it afterwards. Go grab a box and do that with your family. What else we got, Alex?
All right, last announcement. We are having a Feast of Hope. On Thanksgiving Day, we have the opportunity to feed the less fortunate in our community and share the love of Christ with them. If you're interested, please ask your small group leader for the link to sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a great way to spread the news about Jesus Christ to anybody.
That's excellent. So that, again, your small group leader will have a link for you to sign up if you're interested in getting more information about helping at Christmas time. Excellent. All right, let's get everybody on their feet. Alex, we can get that candy. Everybody get on your feet. It is time to worship. We've got our band out here, so let's go ahead and turn over to them, and let's get ready to worship tonight.
All right, I know you guys know this one. Sing it out with us tonight. When night has fallen, when fear is coming, still you're calling me. When faith is lost and my hope exhausted, you will be my strength. And when my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up, 'cause you won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. There's no stopping what you have started till it is complete. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me, no. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. Breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. Feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. Soul in my soul. Decided I'm not giving up. So you won't give up on me. Sing it. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. And I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. And I feel it breaking out, breaking out. Your love death left for dead beneath the water. I'm no longer a slave to sin anymore. Should I fall in the space between what the pain and this reality? Either way, I will bow to the things of this world. And I know I will never be alone. There is another in the fire, standing next to me. There is another in the water, holding back the sea. Should I ever need reminding what power set me free? There is a grave that holds nobody. Now the power lives in me. There is another in the fire. Oh, there is another in the fire. Oh, there is another in the fire. Oh, sing that. There is another in the fire. Oh, and I can see the light in the darkness as the darkness bows to him. I can hear the roar in the heavens as the space between wasted. I can feel the ground shake beneath us as the prison walls cave in. Nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. We praise you, Jesus. There's no other name. There is no other name but the name of Jesus. He was. So come what may in the space between all the things unseen and this reckoning. And I know I will never be alone. And I know I will never be alone. Here's why. There'll be another in the fire, standing next to me. There'll be another in the water, holding back the sea. Should I ever need reminding how good you've been to me? Count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. And I can see the light in the darkness as the darkness bows to him. I can hear the roar in the heavens as the space between wasted. I can feel the ground shake beneath us as the prison walls cave in. Nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. There'll be another in the fire, standing next to me. There'll be another in the water, holding back the sea. Should I ever need reminding how good you've been to me? I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. Sing that. Count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where. Count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. Count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. Thank you guys for singing with us tonight. You guys can go ahead and have a seat.
right, so before we get started tonight, I have not told you guys this last week, but once we're seated after worship, you can take your masks off if you want. So I felt bad. Towards the end of the message last week, I saw you all kind of sitting out there. I was like, man, I know your face is hot. So it's up to you, but the reason we've got the chairs separated like this is so that you're at a distance. As long as you're seated and still, you can take it off. Just make sure before you get up to leave or go to your small group that you pop that thing back on. So we're in week 2 of our origin story series. We're talking about superheroes. Who here this past week actually went and watched Captain Marvel because of last week? One person. Awesome. 2 people. So apparently, all right, I thought I did a little bit better job of pitching it than that. But last week, we used Captain Marvel as an example. They say she's one of the most powerful superheroes in the entire world, but she has a weakness. And her biggest weakness is that she doesn't remember anything. She has no idea who she is. She doesn't remember her family, even her own name. And because she doesn't know who she is, she doesn't know what she's capable of. So she has all these powers and all this ability, but without knowing her identity, it's really useless. And we talked about how we're all created in God's image and how he gave each of us unique superpowers of our own to accomplish our mission, which is his mission. Who remembers what our main idea, our big idea last week was? Anybody? What was it? What's that? Accomplishing. That was in there, but what was our big point? Like, it was big on the screen, and then Miss Rachel threw it up on Instagram this week afterwards. Anybody remember? No? All right, so I was going to give you a prize if you remembered. So this week, make sure you pay attention because I'll have it back next week. So our big point, our main idea from last week was that heroes embrace who God made them to be. All right? So tonight as we get started, I want us to think about what is the main job of a superhero? Okay, is it just to battle strangely dressed villains? Is it maybe to model the latest trends in tights? Or just to show off their superpowers? What do you guys think is the main job of a superhero? Keep you safe. Save people. Anybody else? To help others. So superheroes do a lot of different things, but you guys actually nailed it on the head. If we had to narrow it down to one thing, that really we could say all superheroes do this one thing, it would be that heroes help people, right? They're known for helping people. And I got some really good news for you guys, really probably better news for me, that we don't have to wear a cape and tights to be known for the same thing. And I haven't tried it, but I don't imagine I would look too good in tights. So that's actually a really, really good thing for me. But check out Mark's story.
My name is Mark Moore. I have been living homeless in abandoned homes for about 4 years. I came from poverty. I was able to get a college degree, work in the professional world. You know, I had goals of achieving success in corporate America, but I carried a lifetime of mental and physical abuse from my childhood. I suffered from anxiety, neurosis, depression, being alone, carrying all this on your shoulders without having insight. It forced me really into a mental breakdown. The darkest moments of homelessness is the sense of helplessness, not being able to take a bath or shower or shave. You just feel like I can't make it and you just want to give up. Love Beyond Walls has helped me tremendously, make me an active part of society. Love Beyond Walls has gone through the process of helping me get identification, tracking down my birth certificate. They've helped me with clothing and a place to shower. They've given me a temporary place to stay. They've been a major part of me transitioning out of homelessness. You need help from others to get you out of homelessness because you can't just do it by yourself. It's going to take helping hands along the way.
All right, yeah, I heard a couple people say that was sad. So the team at Love Beyond Walls, which that's the name of the ministry, I know it was a little kind of hard to hear him there, but they didn't have any superhuman skills, right? They didn't have any supernatural powers or talents or abilities, but that didn't stop them from doing something heroic for Mark. Was there anything about that story that you would say, man, that really stood out to you at all? What were some of Mark's specific needs that he had? He wanted to take a shower. Anxiety. Couldn't find a birth certificate to get a job. Needed a house, Ada. You got to say that a lot louder. He was alone. Yeah, so what do you think before this ministry stepped into his life, why didn't anybody else step in? Why didn't anybody else show him love and compassion or care before this ministry stepped in? What do you think? Yeah. So maybe they thought, she said, maybe they thought it was too hard to help or it was too big of a thing for them to try to do by themselves. Drake? Maybe people were selfish. They thought somebody else would help them. So, yep, what you got? Maybe they were just too busy. And I think that happens to a lot of us. So we hear stories like Mark's. We hear about somebody stepping into a situation like that. It inspires us. It moves us. There's something about seeing people do something heroic in somebody else's life that really just, it kind of stirs our heart a little bit. Terrence, who's the name of the guy who started this ministry, this Love Beyond Walls ministry, he didn't save the entire world. What he did didn't change the whole world at all. But what he did do is he stepped into Mark's life and he changed his entire world. And then we have Jesus, who Jesus did in fact save the whole world, but that's not all he did. He still never missed an opportunity to show compassion, to show care and kindness to the people right in front of him. And he told us to do the exact same thing. Here's a conversation I'm going to read to you that he had the night before, or the night that he was arrested. When he was going to be arrested and falsely accused and eventually murdered. This is a conversation he had with his disciples. He said, Jesus knew that his time had come to leave the world. It was supper time. The devil by now had Judas firmly in his grip, all set for betrayal. He, meaning Jesus, got up from the table, set aside his robe, put on his apron. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the feet of the disciples. That's gross. Drying them with his apron. When he got to Simon Peter, Peter said, Master, you wash my feet? Jesus answered, look, you don't understand now what I'm doing, but it's going to be clear to you later. And Peter just persisted. You're not going to wash my feet ever. So Jesus said, look, if I don't wash you, you can't be a part of what I'm doing. Master, said Peter, well, not only my feet then, wash my hands, wash my head. And Jesus replied, look, you've had a bath. You only need your feet washed, and then you'll be clean from head to toe. My concern is your holiness, not hygiene. So now you're clean, but not every one of you. He knew who was betraying him. After he'd finished washing their feet, he took his robe, put it back on, and went back to a place at the table. Now, don't miss this moment. I think we've heard this story before, and it kind of becomes just another story. Right? We get comfortable with it. It becomes kind of normal to us. That, yeah, Jesus, like he did this cool thing, washed their feet. But this was really huge for a couple big reasons. Number one, the disciples' feet were nasty. Like, I don't think sometimes that we realize what life was like back then. So they didn't have sidewalks on the side of the roads where people walked. Everybody walked on the same road. You walked on the same road that the horses and all the donkeys, everything else rode on. And I don't know if you've ever seen a horse, but, dogs will kind of sniff around over on the side and go do their business over there. Horses just poop while they walk. Like, they're just dropping nuggets as they go. So this road is nasty. And they didn't have closed-toed shoes, if they even had shoes. And so their feet were covered in dirt and mud and poop. Probably looked a lot like this picture. That's probably a pretty good representation of what their feet would look like after walking around. So this was, to say the least, not a very sanitary thing. The second reason this is huge is because Jesus wasn't just one of their friends. Okay, it wasn't just a peer that was saying, hey, buddy, let me wash your feet. He was their leader. He was their mentor. This was God in human flesh who took the role of a servant, and not just a servant, the lowest servant in the house, to wash their feet. It went against every single thing that they knew in their society. Because see, Jesus, he didn't just talk to people about love, he modeled it. He literally got his hands dirty, modeling the love he talked about. And this is the big part that I really don't want you to miss. This is the part that gets me. I'm looking back through what I just read, and I don't see any part of this that says, because he knew who would betray him, he skipped washing Judas's feet and told him to go wash his own. I don't see that in here. That means that God himself, knowing exactly what was about to happen, chose to wash Judas's feet too. Now, show of hands here. Who, knowing that your friend was going to go betray you in such a way that would lead to your death, would wash their feet? I'd love to raise my hand, but I don't think I would. Shortly after this, Jesus tells his disciples, hey, I'm going to give you a new commandment. Love one another in the same way that I've loved you. That's how people are going to recognize that you're my disciples, by the way that you love each other, the way that I just demonstrated love to you. This was a guy who knew he was fixing to be arrested. He knew he was going to have people yelling accusations at him, all kind of things that weren't true. They were going to beat him and ultimately murder him naked in front of his own mother and everybody as a spectacle. And here's the thing, he could have stopped it. Literally at any moment, he could have just said, "No, man, you're not worth it." But he did it. He endured every piece of it out of love for ordinary people like me and you. See, for Jesus, saying to love one another, those weren't empty words. He showed his love for people through small acts like washing feet and through big acts like the cross. Now, there's a good chance that nobody in this room is going to be asked to lay down your life for somebody else. There's a pretty good chance that's not going to happen. But that doesn't mean that every person in this room can't be a hero in somebody else's life by modeling that same type of love. What are some ways that you guys have showed love or compassion for somebody else in a way that maybe you weren't expecting to get any kind of recognition? If I didn't ask you right now, probably nobody but you and that person would even know. Anybody? That's all right. I bet y'all got some. Y'all are just too modest, that's all. So for most of you, you know parts of my testimony, maybe some of the younger crowd, not yet, but we'll get to that. But after some of the things that I've been through in my life and some of the people that God's put in my path to lead me to him and back to him, he really started breaking my heart heavy for people in those similar circumstances that I've been in, to remind them of their value. See, because of God's decision to love me so unconditionally and sacrificially, he burdened me to love others the same way, and that's what he'll do for you. Jesus didn't care for people so he could get a big name for himself or be flashy or showy. He cared for people just to show them that he loved them. He didn't hold back that kindness until somebody showed up with a cell phone to make sure it got on Instagram. He cared for whoever was in front of him with no agenda, no reward, even the people that he knew would betray him. And we're told to follow that example because heroes care for the people in front of them. So, okay, I get it. We're supposed to be good to people. We're supposed to love people, care about people. We've heard that in church. But what about the ones who don't treat me good? Yeah, them too. What about the girl who talks about me behind my back at school and I know she's running her mouth about me? Yeah, her too. What about the ex-boyfriend or the ex-girlfriend that cheated on me? Yeah, them too. What about anything that's in your mind right now that you say, no, not that one, yes, that one? If Jesus could wash Judas's feet, then you can show them compassion and care as well. So I think we've got that part pretty much nailed down. So the real question is, what does God want us in this room tonight to do about it? Am I supposed to go wash all my friends' nasty feet tomorrow? Should I go help the homeless like Mark on our video? Maybe. Maybe it's both of those. Maybe it's none of those. Maybe it's not something so extravagant that we have to do. Let's talk about some real life scenarios in our life, our everyday life, that we can experience to show that. What are some places that you guys go to on a daily or maybe weekly, just some kind of regular basis? What are some places that y'all go? School? Grocery store? Your friend's house? Out to a playground for a walk? Say that loud. Walmart, everybody's going to Walmart. That place is packed. What you got? Where's that? Restaurant. All right, so we got a lot of places that we go every day. See, these ordinary places that we go, they're filled with a lot of extraordinary opportunities for us to show others that we care in heroic ways. But we have to look for them. See, wherever we go, we have to be aware of people outside of ourselves and realize that a lot of these needs that we see, they're going to be small and they're not going to be in your face. I mean, yeah, you may see the homeless guy on the corner. That's very in your face. But sometimes those needs in the middle of Walmart or at your school or in your friend groups, those aren't as obvious. And we've got to look for those opportunities. Jesus one time asked his disciples, he said, don't you have eyes to see and ears to hear? Basically, are you blind and deaf? And I wonder how often we overlook those needs just in our own circles if he doesn't look at us and kind of ask the same thing. It could just be a smile at somebody. Don't be creepy about it. But it could just be a smile, asking somebody about themselves or their day, and really, really listening. Does anybody here have that friend that when you talk to them, like, you just know, like, you can see their mouth, like, getting ready to speak in the middle of your sentence? Like, they're only listening enough so that you can hear what they have to say. Anybody got that friend? So we're not talking about that, your brother. We're not talking about that. We're talking about really listening to understand, listening to hear. Or maybe it's filling a need like, you know, I know Melanie's family had that coat drive last year in the wintertime, or meals like Feast of Hope, filling a need in front of us. I'm going to leave you guys with 4 words to remember as we're kind of just considering ways in our lives, as we break up into small groups and really discuss this, that we can show that care for others. Number 1 is awareness, and we just talked about that. Just making sure that we keep our eyes open to other people around us. It's so easy to just be concerned about this right here. What I want to do, what I got to do. But it's just keeping your eyes open, looking for needs. They're everywhere. And like I said, sometimes it's just a need for a smiling face and somebody to acknowledge that, hey, you exist and you're in the room. Number 2 is listening. Again, just the listening to understand. We all have a need to be heard. And not everybody gets that fulfilled. And so sometimes just being that ear to say, I care enough just to sit here and hear what you have to say. 3rd one is interpretation. And this is one I struggle with. Sometimes I say things and maybe I'm trying to be funny, or just maybe I speak too fast and I say things that seem innocent to me, but then they come out and it comes out as something totally different. And so it's just being aware of the things that we're going to say. That our intentions may be one thing, but hey, you know, it may be heard a different way. If somebody else may be in a different circumstance or a different situation in life. And the last one is sensitivity. And this one's big, especially right now in our culture. We've got a lot of things that I don't have to remind you about going on in our culture right now. So just being sensitive to understand that there are a lot of people whose experiences are a lot different than ours. And I don't have to understand it. I don't have to know anything about it to be sensitive to the fact that your reality may look a little different than mine. And just being sensitive to that. Like I said, especially in today's climate. Sometimes the most heroic things that we can do are the small things. But we need to be willing to step out of ourselves and really show love to others like Jesus. Because that's what heroes do. Heroes care for the people in front of them. So who are you going to heroically care for this week? Let me pray for you guys before we break up. Father, we love you. We're just grateful for every student.